I'm sorry. I'll keep it short. Really, I want to thank you for what you're doing and looking out for brothers. Strength and unity. You showed that. And I think that what's to be learned from that is for a lot of black men to put our egos aside and come together and respect each other. And even I was on Mr. Lecko's channel, right? And even one of his own followers who's married, he came out and he's like, this ain't right. It's like they're trying to paint the same picture of Prosper Bros. He's like, this ain't right. This is one example, and I shout out to him for that. I like the brothers who have backbone and integrity coming together and unifying. So the lesson learned is strength and unity. Now we got stuff thanks to you, thanks to Basidian. We got stuff that we can use forever. It's like you want to run your mouth. Look at this right here. Yeah. You're projecting. Look what you did. And I'm Jamaican. I was disgusted.
Blood clot fire, rude boy.
Yeah, man.
Big up to the yard, man.
that nasty, that box, that recycled pum pum.
Yeah, that
recycled man don't want that. No, man. No.
Yeah, that's right, man. Y'all come down to y'all, man. Mash it up with the STD girl. They come down from Babylon, the Yankee woman come down from Babylon and mash up the island. Yeah, man, that's what's up.
I say they let a woman have run. There were too many people were too soft. They said woman without instruction is headed for destruction, and that is what they've been doing and going down there and spreading it. So hopefully this shame, which is funny because shame us never really gonna crumble from, or we're gonna brush it off. Shame is like it'll just stop them.
Yeah.
Usually. So hopefully it works.
let me tell you this, and see, I told y'all to settle this goddamn case for $40 million. So Uncle D ain't gonna be in this motherfucker too much longer. Let me just keep it 100 with y'all, all right? So what's gonna have to happen is, fellas, you guys are gonna have to stand up for yourselves. You're gonna have to be just as mean and nasty as I am when it comes to your own defense. I'm the type of person, I'm not gonna hold you back. See, I don't tell black men to hold back their power. You understand? I'm like Professor X. When the Marvel, when you come to his school, he said, okay, let's see what you got. Unleash it. You mean unleash it? Their whole life, their parents have been telling them to hold back. No, I want you to unleash everything you got. Let's test the limits of your power, and I'm going to show you how to make it more. You understand? That's all I'm doing. I'm taking those mental shackles that have been placed on black men's minds for the past 404 years. And number one, I'm telling you, you're free. And number two, I'm telling you, you're deserving of your freedom. You've earned your freedom. And there's nobody that can get in the way of it rightfully. And anybody that does, you hit them with that strong, that fist of Ra. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm telling y'all. And so I hope it's working, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to be your only voice. I am not going to be here forever. I want you men to begin to speak up for yourselves on an individual basis. I don't care if it's your mother, your father. I don't care if it's your boss, whoever it is. You're going to be fine no matter what. But your autonomy and your freedom and your self-respect are the most important things. And you've earned it. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, man. But and that's the thing. So it's not just about unity. I'm giving you ammunition. I'm giving you your own bats and bricks to use. I can't be the only one throwing bricks. Too many of these motherfuckers out here. Too many of these lovely ladies. It was all in my inbox and shit like get the fuck out of my head, But anyway, thank you so much, King. Mr. DC Martin T, how you doing today, sir? What would you like to have it up with Ken real quick? Because I got to ask him some questions about Jamaica. You guys been following my community tab, then you already know what we're about to do, but we about to segue. So give me a second. Let's bring Ken up in here. Ken, I need to chop it up with you. I need a really odd man to tell me lowdown is. Let me make the screen big so we can all see. Now, Ken, welcome. Let's give an introduction. King Barracuda. And what part of you're from? Yardman, what part of Jamaica are you from?
So I'm actually not from Jamaica. I was born here. My dad and my dad and his family are from there. I think it was Kingston, whatnot. And I still have a lot more to learn about the culture. I'm still Americanized. We were supposed to go down the last year, but things, coronavirus, stuff like that. But I'm learning. I should have told you before you put me on the spot.
No, it's okay. Because, see, I know you have family in OG and Mobay and all over, and you've heard stories and things. Because just like my family moved to LA from Mississippi, I still heard stories about Mississippi and what life was like there. Have you heard anything about these lovely American ladies coming down there, hanging out with black men? They even have a term called rent-a-dread. What's your thoughts on that? Tell us what this whole rent-a-dread concept is.
I mean, they're going down there to get their back blown out. They're going down there to see Jamaican, one of the most craved men on the planet, to have fun with them. And a lot of them were telling me, it's just a lot of American women are kind of trifling, they don't really, I'm not going to say all of them, but a lot of them don't really take care of themselves down there. And they want a lot of Jamaican to eat, and we say no. No.
Oh, they want the Jamaican men to perform conolingus on them. They perform oral sex, okay? Yeah. And I know culturally Jamaicans don't really do that. Neither do Africans for the most part. But what is it? Are these? And see, a lot of these women, they romanticize these relationships. They say, "Oh, I had a relationship for 2 days with a Jamaican." Is it really a relationship, or is there some financial incentive given to these men?
It's financial incentive. They call a relationship to cover it up. They want to sugarcoat. They want to be shamed, but they're down there tricking. That's what they're doing.
So go ahead. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
Well, the thing is, when they come back, when they're doing it raw, and getting pregnant, even getting to bring diseases back, it's catastrophe. Mm-hmm. Like, I've heard enough. I don't want to. It's too much.
Please tell us, because this is the only way we can bring it into it. Because it's my understanding that they also solicit, these American women go down there, and they also solicit underage boys, like boys under the age of 18. And I have had several people on my page talk about that. Is that something that you've heard of also?
Yeah, I have. I don't like that. I've heard it a little bit, but I don't like that. It's disgusting. And a lot of Jamaican women don't like a lot of American women because of that, but taking advantage of little boys. I don't want to get too deep. It just pisses me off. So.
Yeah. And the thing is, and from the perspective of the Jamaican women, I can imagine, because all those men aren't just single men. Those are married men. Those are men who have girlfriends. Those are men who have children. But those are grandfathers and also women's sons. What is the perspective of the Jamaican women when they see these American women coming down? What have you heard between your your aunties and sisters and grandmothers, their perspective of American women coming down there to solicit these Jamaican men? What do the women say?
Abusers of power, basically, just taking advantage, and it's almost say just abusers of power. Just that they think they can do whatever. The American, treat us like nothing, just tools to be used. And
what would you say to authors like Bianca C. Williams, who wrote a book called The Pursuit of Happiness, who basically said these men, even though they live in third world and they need the money, they cannot be victims because they're men. But on the flip side, they'll say women in third world countries are victims because men from Western countries come down and they take care, they entice them to have sex with money, but it's different when it's a woman enticing a man with money to have sex with her. Why is that? What would you say to someone? Because it seems hypocritical to me. What would you say to that author who came to that conclusion in her book?
She's a hypocrite, and she doesn't have accountability. It's the whole. It's an excuse. It's just sugarcoat. You go through a whole book to mitigate tricking, to not feel ashamed about what you're doing. And then it's funny, the people participating in that stuff want to call it the passport bros when you're doing far worse. And like you said before, if there are any passport bros doing that, call them out, throw them under the bus. Cool. But these ladies, it's so disgusting.
I mean, yeah, we're talking about and I have had several men tell me from Jamaica, they were born there. They said when I was a little boy, I was in Ochi coming from school. And you know, if you've been there, you see the kids, they got their little uniforms on. Like, you know, this is a school child because they still wear uniforms there. And she said this American woman, came down after he pointed out where the clock tower was, and Ochi said, propositioned him for sex for $100. A Black American woman. I mean, what happened to this whole we're brothers and, you know, the Pan-African movement and unity? You're taking advantage of these children. What would you say to women like that who go down there to do that when they think it's all fun and games? What would you say to them?
Karma is coming. That's all I can say. The truth is coming out now. It's coming. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Well, bro, I appreciate. I know this is, I know this is a touchy subject because I've been to Jamaica enough, and I try to explain to my American friends that when you go to the Caribbean, they're very polite. Jamaicans are very, very polite. They know, they're taught and trained to be nice to the tourists, and nice to the Canadians and the Europeans, and they do that because they don't want to mess up the tourist dollars. They don't want any incidents. Right. And so they're overly nice to you. They would tolerate things from Americans and foreigners that they would not normally tolerate from Jamaicans. If you have sex with an underage girl in Jamaica and you're Jamaican, the crowd might turn on you and they might beat you to death right there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, this is how serious it is. I mean, for a while back, like, people in the LGBT community, they knew they couldn't go to Jamaica because the crowd at any point could turn on you and beat you to death. This is how they maintain their culture. Whatever you think about it, that's their culture. But the bottom line is, when you have grown women, sometimes as old as 40, 50, 60 years old, Black American women with children and grandchildren going down to these countries and soliciting sex from underage boys, it's a travesty, and it needs to be brought attention. I think, they brought attention to the passport bros, and brothers going overseas looking for wives. But, they say you shouldn't throw rocks if you live in a glass house. But this is far worse, what they're doing. But, King, I'm not going to hold you up too much longer, man. Thank you so much, brother. I know this. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you for, thank you for doing what you're doing. And it inspired them to reach out to you, my Jamaican brothers. And thank you.
And I appreciate that. And anybody who's from Jamaica, because it also is happening it's been happening for decades. It's been happening for decades since Stella got her groove back. It's been happening even before that. So anybody who's from the Bahamas, you're from Jamaica, if you lived through this experience, if these predatory women coming down from these Black American women and white women coming down to these countries soliciting underage boys, feel free to contact me via email at sperlingdennis@gmail.com. We want to hear your story. We want to hear. We need to expose these predators. It doesn't matter what their sex is. But thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it.